So we got ourselves a CR12 Plus here, updated to the newest layout, which is 25.1. So it's the milestone 1 software layout version. And we'll go through it, how to work with it, what you can do with it. So we will start with a machine garage, because the CR12 Plus, the first thing you always do is go to the machine garage. You have to select your correct implement. And where you can do that is here. There's a quick button here on the right top corner. You can press on it and it will bring you to the machine configuration, so machine garage. And what you can see now is we got ourselves a Puma 160 and we have a planter right now connected to it. We can simply press here on reset to start with new configuration. So in a new configuration, in this drop down menu from machine, we select the tractor or the sprayer or whatever machine we have. So there's a drop down list and we select the Puma. So that's the machine, which is actually the tractor. And then what we do is if we have something mounted in the 3-point hitch, we can select front mounted or rear mounted. And right now this planter, still in Dutch, is connected, but we don't want to work with it, so we can disconnect it and make sure it's back in the garage. So now we got ourselves a tractor with nothing mounted. So mount equipment, here on the bottom, we go there, we will have a drop down list of all the machines that are currently existing in our machine garage. These are all non-isobus, yeah, so just conventional machines, which we can select, and then it's mounted to the tractor. Yeah, be careful because I can also select a second one, but make sure you don't have done that because you want only one here in this menu. Because right now we have two machines or two implements mounted, and that's not what we want. So we get rid of those, T connected, and then we go back and select one. To create a new equipment or new implement, we press on this button here, we give it a name, and we can start with a planter today. Can make it 6 meters, and that's about 8 sections. So in this case, it's not isobus. So yes, we will have 8 sections. We can see when it switches off, but it's not really switching off sections. So later on in this video, I will plug in my isobus machine, and then we will show how that will be connected. So you can set up the width of your sections, distance from 3.2 implement, so to the back. And then here we have left-right distance. Yeah, if it's not mounted centered behind the tractor, you can put in something here. So in this case, it's a planter. It's in the center of the tractor, so we leave it like it is. So we got ourselves a tractor and a planter connected to it. So that's how it works with 3-point machines. So the mounted implements. Yeah, you can also see it. It's a tractor with now mounted the planter. Good to know is there's a very small button here, but the whole tractor here, the whole square does the same. So if I press here, I'll also come here to adjust my settings here. So right now it's a mounted machine, but let's take that off and go to trailed implements. So add drawn equipment. Also very small plus, but if I press here, you come in the same overview. And this looks familiar as the tractor and mounted implement, but it has some differences. You can select your card here for existing ones. And if you mount For example, this one, you can select it and it's mounted. So now we don't want to use that. So we create a new card. So press reset and then go here again, create a new card. And there's one, there are three possibilities, but I would say we only use two. It's the two-wheel card for isobus implement. The four-wheel card, you only use that if you have an implement like this. So you got yourself a dolly in front of it. If it's a four-wheel cart, but you have two axles like this on the back side of the machine, just use the two-wheel cart and then measure to the rear axle, which is also shown. So you use this one for isobus machines, and if it's just conventional, you can use Tron implement. The picture is already showing it a little bit. You got yourself a cart, and with Tron implement, you also set up the boom of the machine. Now, in this case, you don't set up the boom because the boom is ISO configured. You can just get it from isobus. So we can call it slurry injector and we move on. Distance from mounting point to the axle. Now, if you got multiple axles, go for the rear axle. Let's go for 5 meters. This is the axle to the hitch distance. So if there's a mounting point on the back again, to mount a second card, you have to enter a value. If not, you can just leave it on 0. So that will be for the card. And then we have to configure the boom. Let's go for 8 meters. And 8 sections. Again, this is not isobus, so you can see sections, but you have to manually switch on and off. And right here, we are telling the system how far the boom is behind the axle. So if you got multiple axles, also measure from rear axle. Okay, so you set that up. This will be in the center, but same things you can do left, right, if it's not centered. So now we got our Puma with the slurry injector now mounted to it. So if I don't use this Tron equipment, you can just put reset slurry injector. It's back in the machine garage, and then go here for, let's search for our planter again. There it is. So that's all for non-isobus machines. So let's put in, got myself an isobus machine here. So plugging that in. So right now it's connected. I will see in my UT, I have an extra UT, or it's loading if it's new one. There it is. So to be able to mount that in the machine garage, you need to have an unlock, which is called task controller. And you can check that here in settings and software update. Features. Here you can see I have the task controller, which is here unlocked. Okay. So if that is unlocked, I'll go to my machine garage. Press on the mounted machine. Mount equipment, and now I will find my fertilizer sprayer, in this case down here. So this is a demo unit, so it's configured a bit strange with 4 meters, but you will see in here, if I mount it, the fertilizer spreader down here, it's automatically there. You cannot change it because it's all with values from UT, and you cannot remove it. If I pull out the ISO, so the IBBC connector again, it will be removed from this list. So that's for mounted implements. Just in case if this is a drawn sprayer, for example, drill sprayer or whatever, you don't want to have it in your 3-point hits because then the distances will not fit. So you go to add drawn equipment, create a new one, and in this case it's ISO bus, so I will go for the 2-wheel cart. Fertilizer spreader. Next step. This distance from mounting point to axle. So in this case it's a fertilizer spreader, so it's not really a drawn implement, but with normal sprayers you will be able to find this value in the UT offset. So you put a check mark and you can find it. If not, or if it's not set correct, you can put your distance in here yourself to get the distance correct. This is axle to mounting point again, not using that. And then we can. So we got ourselves a cart here, and now we press mount equipment and we mount our ISO boom. Not directly to the tractor, because then this 3 meters will be calculated from 3-point hits to boom. Right now it's from the axle. So now we have mounted the ISO fertilizer spreader as a drawn implement. So that's how it's called with ISO bus implements, and now you will see it. If I remove the machine, so I'm doing that now, the UT will be gone automatically, and it will give you I go here, the DTC that the ISO implement is not connected anymore. So you will not be able, if this machine is still mounted, you will not be able to start a job. So I will reset, and for this training, let's use our planter, which we just created. Here, 6 meters. So that's the machine garage.